Hey, my name's Brayden, and I shot this 150-inch whitetail last October in Gratiot County. He's my biggest buck ever. It was the afternoon of October 10th, and I had my tree stand set up at this west edge of a big bedding area. So I needed that east to west wind, which you don't get a lot of in October. And that day it was perfect east to west wind. I went out right after work about 4 o'clock, got in my tree stand, and he popped up in the bedding area at about 5:15, and he was milling around out there with another couple little bucks making a scrape, and he kind of worked his way towards me and disappeared into this little stretch of woods that ran in front of me, right across this ditch about 30 yards in front of my stand. And he kind of disappeared in there, and I thought, okay, you know, he's bedding back down again. Probably won't see him, right? About 10 minutes later, he pops out behind this big oak tree right on the other side of the ditch, 30 yards from my stand. And I had this limb in this tree in front of me that was hanging down in front, so I couldn't stand up to shoot him. I had to sit down Indian style on the platform of my tree stand to pull a shot off. And he stepped out, I drew back, shot, looked like a beautiful shot. He ran 15 yards and he stopped, and he's just looking around. So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting, you know, thinking he's going to fall down right there. And it felt like 5 minutes went by, but it was probably 45 seconds to a minute, and I don't see any blood coming out of him. He's just looking around. He didn't know what had happened. So I'm starting to freak out a little bit. So I'm fumbling around. I get another arrow in, and I draw back again. I shoot, and I had so much buck fever running through me, I shot right under him. He ran another 10 yards, stopped, looked around, did the same thing. Just had no idea I was there, didn't know what was going on. I'm down to my last arrow with a broadhead in my quiver, and I managed to get that in there without him hearing me or seeing me. I drew back on him a third time. I shot. I hit him a little back. Arrow blew through him. He ran another 5 yards, stopped. He started doing back and forth, tipping back and forth, and he fell over right there. Called my dad, called my cousin, met up with them at my grandpa's, took the Ranger out there, went up to him, and sure enough, he had 2 holes in him. And that first shot that I thought was perfect shot through the heart. I got a picture of a hole in his heart, and he was just bleeding internally. He just didn't know what was going on, and that was that. We got up to him, and the first thing my dad said to me was, "Holy crap, look at the size of the body on this deer." I think he weighed 190 after he was dressed out with the legs cut off. And that's the biggest buck I've ever shot in my life, and it'll be hard to do again.